Okay, right here is a 2005 Hitachi EX1200 mass excavator. This is a -5C model. It replaced the company's older model, the EX1100, in 2002, which at the time when the EX1200 was first introduced, the EX1100 was already in production for 11 years. This particular EX1200 you're looking at right here is set up as a mass excavator, or as Hitachi calls it, in their bulk excavator configuration, with a 24-foot 9-inch boom, an 11-foot 2-inch stick, and the bucket that you see is 9 cubic yards, which is the largest bucket available for an EX1200 in the mass excavator or bulk excavator configuration, as you see here. Hitachi also offers a front shovel configuration for the EX1200 with a standard bucket capacity of 8.5 cubic yards. Hitachi has stated that the EX1200 has increased production by 30% when compared to the older EX1100. The EX1200 is a much more powerful and faster digging machine than the older EX1100. So now I'm going to take and show you around the machine and tell you some technical information about it. To give you an idea of the size of an EX1200, this machine is 14 feet 2 inches tall from the ground to the top of the cab. And the overall width of this machine, not the width of the undercarriage, but the width of the house, from end to end of the side rails, is 17 feet 10 inches. Two different shoe sizes are offered by Hitachi for their EX1200. 28-inch pads or 35-inch pads. These are 35-inch pads you see on this 1200. The 28-inch pads are more commonly used on the front shovel configuration. Right here you can see where the two boom cylinders pin to the superstructure, and you can see on the front of the superstructure where it says the product identification number and the model type, an EX1200-5C. The EX1200 is a very popular machine for mining and quarry operations all around the world. But an excavator this size can also be found occasionally on large general construction operations. On the right side of the machine on the back you will find two vents. The rear one is for the engine radiator, and the frontmost one right here is for the cooling fan. Now let's go up on top of this machine and I'll show you the upper works of the 1200. One really nice feature about the EX1200 are the large, oversized walkways that you will find throughout the machine to allow plenty of walking space for operators or mechanics who are working on the machine. Now an EX1200 has two swing motors. The swing motors are mounted on each end of the ring, and this is to wear the ring evenly when the machine is rotating. One of the swing motors you can see is mounted in the front, right underneath where the boom pins to the superstructure, which you can see where the boom pins right behind it. The other swing motor is backed by the hydraulic system, which I will point out later. Here you can see all the hoses, which run out to go and power the backhoe in the front. This tank you see on the right side right here is the diesel fuel tank. It holds 370 gallons of fuel. From up top here you can get a good overview of the top deck of this machine and looking down at the hydraulic system. The second swing motor, as you can see, is mounted right here. This is the cooling fan on the 1200. These three compartments that you see right here are to get in and work on the engine if it needs service or repair. Now these compartments are locked, so I will not be able to show you the engine on this machine, but an EX1200 is powered by a Cummins QSK23, which is a 4-cycle 6-cylinder engine that produces 760 horsepower. And again, here you can get a good view of the hydraulic system. Right behind the operator's cab is the hydraulic oil tank. You can see the cap right there to fill the tank with oil. This tank holds 356 gallons of oil. Now on the back of the left side of the machine, inside these two compartments you see here, are where the three main hydraulic pumps are and the air cleaners. This compartment is locked, so again I will not be able to show you them. But up on top you can see the two air intakes. Now let's talk a little bit about the cab. When Hitachi designed the EX1200, they increased the operator's cab size by 10% when compared to the older EX1100. This machine has a data logging unit installed in it, and it is standard Hitachi setup. And as you can see, the cab is very large on this machine, provides a comfortable operating environment for the operator. Right in front of the cab, this walkway you see right here is to step out so you can clean the windshield, replace one of the windshield wipers, or repair the headlights that you see in the front here. And here's an operator's view if you were running this machine, looking down at that backhoe configuration. And the overall working weight for an EX1200 in the mass excavator configuration, as you see right here, is 119 tons. If this machine were set up as a front shovel, it would weigh in at 122 tons. But there she is, a 2005 Hitachi EX1200-5C.